we got this deck that I'm actually ranking up with. Um, so it's funny, like this deck, it comes in and out of favor. Is like right now it's okay because it seems to match up pretty well against Eldrazi, which is really common. Um, so this is just a cascade or a discover combo deck. But instead of running the creature variant, we're running the Quintorus variant, which requires a little bit less of the deck to be committed to the combo, which means we can squeeze in more control spells. So this is like a pseudo control deck that wins with a one card combo. Um, and it's kind of deceptively has kind of a lot of nuance to how you can play it. So we got our Ram spells here. We only pick the instant versions of these discardable Ram spells because they go in with our alternate strategy of Torrential Gearhulk. This kind of can help us fight our way out against control decks sometimes, and also just stops us from putting all our eggs in one basket. Um, if we go with the strategy, it makes our Spark Doubles and Surgical Metamorphs into live draws that can recur spells from our graveyard. Big, impactful, you know, hugely costly spells. Um, Basically, if we cast Quintorus and we discover with it, we can clone it until we get 5, 6, 7, 8 Quintoruses, and they're all dealing 2 damage and gaining 2 life every time you go. So it's almost like Storm in that respect, where like once we cast this, we just win the game if they don't have an answer to it. As far as interaction, we have Roaring Furnace, Steaming Sauna. So this allows us to do quite a bit of damage early in the game and kind of try to stall. And we're not a true control deck in that we can't lock up the game against aggro forever, but we can stall for a pretty good amount of time with Roaring Furnace, killing off early creature drops. Steaming Sauna gives us value from this later on in the game. If we're like stalling out, we can basically start drawing extra cards each turn. We have Leyline Binding, along with Oliphant to cycle for lands and a package of Triomes that make it so that if we have any one Triome and an Oliphant, we can get Domain. So, like, if we have blue white, for instance, then we would need green black. Okay, there's green black. So we can cycle this to grab the green black, and then we have domain. We can cast Leyline Bindings for 1. We also run a full set of Consign Oblivions. These are really good in this deck because all our other removal are things that sit on the battlefield. So, for instance, we can use Consign to pick up our own Roaring Furnace or pick up our own Leyline Bindings to use them again. Like, say you Leyline Binding like a token. We could then bounce this and get it back and cast it again for 1 mana. So for 1 blue and for 1 blue, 1 colorless, and 1 white, we could potentially replay a Leyline. We could also just use it to straight up bounce stuff. Oblivion occasionally becomes handy. But the main thing is we can't have anything with a CMC under 5 in our deck, which is why we can only use kind of these dual purpose cards. Sideboard isn't really, I haven't really thought too much about it right now. Um, we basically have things like Doomscar, Devastating Mastery, things that are discounted board wipes that might hit things that are like, say, our opponent's playing a bunch of Planeswalkers. Well, Roaring Furnace isn't going to do us much good then, so maybe then we bring in Devastating Mastery, or Mirror Shell Crabs, etc. Um, it works pretty good. The idea is you want to ramp on, say, turn 3, you crap out a treasure, and then on turn 4, you can play Quintorus, and you're just hoping that with these cards, you can stall your opponent's plan just long enough to be able to cast Quintorus and just win the game. The land base, like I said, is based around getting easy. Um, it's based around getting easy domain with the ability to mountain cycle, along with some utility stuff. For anti-counter spells, we have Cavern of Souls, 1 Cavern of Souls and 1 Mistrise Village. These can be used in like a long game against like a full control deck to try and get around their counter spells, force them to make bad decisions. You can use this on Dinosaur or on Construct to cast Torrential Gearhulk without them being able to stop it. Otawara and Ijango as kind of utility options. And then just our three basics covering our baseline colors that all our base spells use, and then like our off. So we don't have any green in this deck, but we do have a couple of lands with green attached to them just so that we can hit domain. Um, I need to look at cards that have been added that may fit because it's possible that there's some cards out there that I'm not aware of that could fit in here, but this shell does work pretty well. Um, Another option I think is to add a couple more torrential gearhulks to the sideboard over something like like I don't think this is ever better than Roaring Furnace because this just does +3/-3 is effectively dealing 3 damage. This is usually going to do more than 3 damage, and it has an upside. So I think those can go out of there in place for 2 torrential gearhooks. That's like if we're up against a strategy where like our cascade is not going to work as well, we could swap to the gearhulk strategy. So if they're on like 9 lives or something like that, we could run these into our deck so that we have the ability to board wipe. We also have a farewell in here that we would put in, or devastating mastery. Like any of like against our enchantments, you would have a pretty good board of things. Um, Virtue of Persistence again might be good in certain matchups against like aggro. Maybe you could swap out some consigns for virtues. Hornlock Whale again could be good against stuff like Hammer Time. I really need an option for dealing with planeswalkers would be good beyond just leyline binding them. But that said, we're like top 500 with this deck right now as it is. Just playing best of one. Um, so let's get to it. I really like the kind of synergy between the bounce spell that we have and all our permanent based removal, doing things like bouncing our own Roaring Furnaces and Leyline of Sanctities or Leyline of Bindings. Another thing that's interesting with this deck is Surgical Metamorph can be used to do things like copy Leyline Bindings, which is also useful. So this is not the same as like a Belcher deck where I'm mulliganing till I hit a win condition. We have pretty good density of win conditions in the deck, and we have a lot more control options. So we kind of just hope that we're going to be able to manage it. So like this, what we're up against here is not a good matchup for us. So we'll see. Oh no, it might be okay. I thought it was going to be Persist Reanimator, but it looks like it is Eldrazi Woodlands, and I think we actually have a good hand against that. We can leyline binding whatever they reanimate with their Woodlands, so we can like basically stop them from comboing off with what we have here twice. Yeah, Eldrazi Woodlands. We don't care about our graveyard. That's one of the strengths of this deck. Kind of like Belcher, is that we don't care about our graveyard. So all the people's hate that they pack against graveyard strategies doesn't really work on us. Oh, nice. That gives us full domain. Sure. there's God Pharaoh statue. But that's what I'm saying is that, like, we have options against this because we have our leyline bindings here. We do have the ability to kind of fight back. So the question is, I don't think we need a ramp here because we don't have a win condition in hand. We have an untapped land. So we'll just play a tap land and hold up 2 copies of leyline binding. Opponent mills nothing good. So he has the God Pharaohs, but he doesn't have any good creatures to reanimate with it right now. So here. So now he's going to reanimate the God Pharaoh statue, and we're going to leyline binding it before it can trigger. And then he loses his woodland. And I think I want to just hold Xander's Lounge to cycle it now that we're at 5 mana. Okay. It's the mill again. Mill's an Omniscience. Again, Omniscience, we can leyline binding the Omniscience, but they would get to cast 1 spell, which is kind of unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. Okay. Okay. Awesome. We'll just win the game instead. That's unfortunate. We have 2 of those in hand. We really wanted to hit our spark. Like, the earlier you can hit a spark double in this cycle, the less likely you are to brick. Okay, sure. But we're going to hit one now because there's only 1 surgical left in the deck. So we have 5 copies here. That should be plenty. So, like, as you can see, as we accumulate elephants dropping in from the sky, our damage ramps. And you gotta, like, count how many... This is actually a pretty good example game of, like, how this deck plays. It's, like, halfway between an all-in combo deck, like what opponent's on, and a control deck, where, like, we're basically trying to stall the opponent just long enough to be able to execute our strategy and win. So it's like almost like a tempo combo control. Like, we don't have the volume of card draw and control spells that would be needed to take a full on, like, control deck role, but we have enough to basically throw some sticks in the spokes of the opponent's bicycle. I do. That's all I do, man. Bullshit combos. I just, like, I don't see a reason to play some kind of... Well, no, that's not true. Like, there are valid, like, strong non-combo decks, but pretty much all of them have the ability to win by, like, turn 2 or 3. Like, if you're talking about, like, a valid, like, aggro playstyle deck, you're talking, like, Hammer Time, maybe, like, Red White Energy. It needs to basically be on the same clock as, like, a combo deck, because I just, like, if I can cast 1 spell and win the game with it, why would I want to cast a bunch of different spells? Oh, it's the same thing, but we have a significantly worse hand to fight it. Right. Oh boy. Well, this is looking pretty bleak here. I really needed another blue or red to be able to make a treasure. We pretty desperately need the ability to get our domain up to where we can cast this, because we're gonna die if he has woodlands in hand. So anything with red mana in it. Oh boy. Alright. Well, if he doesn't have it, so like if he can't kill us this turn, we can win next turn. Haha! Haha! We get there. Actually, not true, because he can kill our treasure with Haywire Might. I really wish he would tap out. Um, so I don't want to go off right now because he has Haywire Might up, and one of our creatures that copies this is an artifact. So if he's heads up, he could actually stop us, but we're shields up now. The Leyline Binding, so we should be okay. Alright, so he's going to get an Atraxa, but we are going to Binding the Omniscience. He can play any instance he's got. Alright. So, if he blows up the Leyline Binding, it doesn't matter because Omniscience is turned back into a land and we're going to win on our turn. Actually, I would invite him to do so. But he already played a land, so I think we just win the game. That's kind of our role with this deck is like we threw a stick in the spokes of his combo. Now we're going to run out our combo. Alright, he's dead as fuck. Also a fan of this because I like vampire combos that like suck your opponent's life into your own. It's like Tendrils of Agony almost. Similar. Similar in effect to Tendrils of Agony. Just dropping elephants. Elephants from the sky. So earlier this week, I went on some antibiotics for like an eye infection that I was dealing with, and I had an allergic reaction to them, and so now my entire body is covered in like a poison ivy level rash. It is not fun. Probably the most uncomfortable I've been in quite a while. All right, so we don't have any kind of interaction here. We're just pure ramp plan. Ramp turn 2, ramp turn 3 combo. Are we getting Thoughtseize? Alright, sure. We do have the ability, so we do have like sort of the ability to limp along, even if he were to. Oh, there's the Thoughtseize bug. Even if he were to exile all our Quintoruses, we still have Carnosaur that we can combo out, and we still have big spells like Magma Opus. All right. All right, we win. Now we have 3 and 3 in our deck. 3 of the surgicals and 3 of the spark doubles. Okay, we get our spark double. He's dead. You can potentially whiff if you draw all your surgicals first before you get your spark doubles. Once you get one spark double, your surgicals can copy the double that doesn't have legendary anymore. And at that point, you can't really whiff. What I do like about this deck is that like even your like combo fillers, like Spark Double is really your only dead card in hand. Because Surgical Metamorph, the reason I go with that over some of the other copy spells is because if your opponent goes first, it gets reduced in cost by 1. So Surgical can copy anything on the battleground, which is usually useful. It can be a ramp spell. You can copy a land. If opponent plays something brutal, you can copy something from your opponent. Like I won a game where I didn't combo out. I just drew a bunch of surgicals, and opponent was on Sorin, Saint Alinda, and I copied like Saint Alinda, and then spark doubled it, and then copied the spark doubles. I had like 3 Saint Alindas cranking, and like basically won that way. Okay, so this has 2 dead cards, no ramp, and our most expensive win condition. So I am gonna mulligan this one. Okay, this is fine. And like because we have these dead cards, like we know it's pretty easy to mulligan. We know what we're putting back. We're putting back Spark Double because we want that in our library. But having a Spark Double on the very bottom of our deck is actually awesome because we know that like it'll be done when we hit the last card in our deck. Basically, we don't have to count. All right, put this here. Play a tap land. Oh yeah, what's that? I'm I'm listening. We have domain. Reckless charge. Oh, that's good. All right, so we just want to basically stall as much as possible. We have 4 lands. We just have to hit one more to get to Quintorus. Cast that Reckless Charge so that I can leyline binding it. Probably like red, blue, white. There's the Magma Opus. Ah, that's actually kind of cool. Yeah, I could see it. So like blue, white, Grand Arbiter, a shitload of bunnies, some kind of like asymmetrical drawing, maybe potential, based on like maybe creature counts or something like that. Some way when creatures enter, you draw cards for them or something like that. I want an opponent to tap out or at least commit some resources to the board before I'm willing to try to combo out since it's is it. If at any time he plays something that's a bigger threat than any of the either of the things under this leyline binding, we can bounce the leyline binding and use it again. Snapcaster is not though. I'd love for him to play a land, activate Bugbear, and just go face. I'm not super comfy sitting here casting Quintorus into open red mana. That could work, yeah. And you could run all the other stacks effects that like one of stacks effects you could get. Like run all your one of, draw a card when this creature enters, when creature under 2 power enters. Hang on. I want to see if he'll take the bait here. Mm, discard 2, buddy. I'm just gonna tap down. I might be making a mistake slow rolling this, but I kind of feel like he's sitting. See, like this would have stopped it. Um, he only when you discover Quintorus, he only has 1 loyalty left. Activate Din. Yes. Yes. Haha. Okay, that's what we wanted him to do. Great. We win. So we're basically just trying to bait him into going all out so that we can go off without having to worry about him doing something like in the festivities. Oh, it's a sorcery, but like Wizard Lightning is really what I was worried about. And I just thought that like bouncing that Soulscar Mage back to his hand would make it more likely that all his mana would be comes up. Yeah, you could. Okay, I think that's actually a great idea. You could run Ephemerate. You could run like so everything's one of except for the bunnies, right? So you want a bunch of utility spells and like basically stuff to fill your hand in your one of slots. So like Ephemerate would be good. Thalia, you run Grand Arbiter, you run Thalia and Thalia. Um, you could run shit. Any kind of like flicker effects would be pretty good. Um, I'm thinking. I think that it's got potential. So we can get Domain on turn 3. We have Bounce on turn 2. Spark Double's a dead card. Trumpet and Carnosaur is not a super ideal. I think I'm going to mulligan. Okay, this is probably better. Displacer Kitten. You wouldn't want to put it a one of Thalia? Oh, I need land. You're gonna have to find 2 lands at some point. We're about to get fucked. He's gonna start blowing up our land. Alright, land off the top. And don't blow up my land. Okay, he's not blowing up our land this turn. Good. We get a land off the top, we win. Fair enough. I think I think running one Thalia, like not as your commander, I don't think that's too terribly toxic. Although to be fair, like if you're talking about a 4-player game, putting a target on your back is not always the greatest thing. But you're going to be doing that already by playing Grand Arbiter, so keep that in mind. All right, we need to live a turn without him destroying a land, or draw an untapped land next turn. Yeah, Cozy X command, sure, 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 sure. We're probably fucked here. It's probably Ulamog. Ulamagio. Alright, what horrors will we see? Nothing? Oh boy. And no green mana, so we don't gotta worry about... Well, I guess he could have... Okay, fuck it. Here we go. It's rain and elephants. Hallelujah. Nice, we hit the spark double first. That's best case scenario. That means we go up to 8 Quintoruses by the time we're all done, said and done. The nice thing about this combo, either Mage's Touch. I'll take a look. The nice thing about this combo is it doesn't rely on, like, it's not easily hated. Like all the meta hate. Ah, okay, yeah, that's sick. I'm looking at it. It's basically like a kind of like a shitty Coco, but like it's actually good if you're talking about the heir apparent. There's also some. Isn't there new white cocoa that's like 4 mana? Put a permanent with mana cost 3 or less in play, or put a creature with mana cost 3 or less in play and make a copy of it. I think there was. It's like I don't remember what it was called though. Okay, so we can have domain on turn 2, or bounce or burn on turn 2. So I think this is good. Oh yeah, because of Grand Arbiter. Good point. Good point. Very good point. All right, we need green and black. So red, green, black. Burn that off. So we're just gonna go ahead and do this. Oh no, I fucked up. All right, it's fine. We have a bounce spell. I thought I had red mana, but I didn't have red mana. I should have played this. Do I bounce that? I think I do. He can't combo off. Yeah, I'm gonna bounce the birthing ritual. We just have to stall for a little bit longer here. Okay, so I think we wait to see what he gets. If he finds the cat, we will have to do something. If he doesn't find the cat, we can magma opus and no, we have to draw land anyway. So I take it back. I take it back. So we're just gonna go ahead and do this. Taking this. Then land cycle this. Get red white. Kill the Samwise. And then hope that's enough. Do I kill the Samwise or the Bartolome? I can only operate at sorcery speed, unfortunately. Okay, and that's the last land we're gonna need. I think I'm gonna kill the Bartolome. Because if I kill the Samwise, he just sacrifices the Bartolome. Cards we don't want to see. We don't want to see Goblin Bombardment. Maybe Samwise was the right choice because he has 2 different ways to sack. Goblin Bombardment is another sack outlet. Fuck, yeah. I think I might have lost because of that. Alright, let's see if we lose or not. Okay. We did not lose. Unfortunately, Goblin Bombardment was going to stop us from going off. Unless he's just asleep at the wheel. I I think I basically. This is a long shot now, but I think I basically got to stall and hope that he doesn't hit. So let's see, what can he do next turn? He sacrifices the token from a Johnny, hits us for 3, hits us for 4, that's 7, sacrifices his board, that's 10. I'm counting on the board, not counting what he has in his hand. Alright. Just gonna hopefully see if Consign can do it. I think we're dead no matter what now. He sacrificed a Johnny. He sacrificed the wrong card. Oh my god. Alright, so now he has to whiff twice on Birthing Ritual. We're probably still dead, because what are the odds he doesn't hit another sack out? Yeah, okay, we're dead. Sure. No, I think you were right that it was the Samwise to begin with. I wasn't thinking about the fact that he has like 8 sack outlets in the deck, but only 4 Samwises. Like, if I'd killed Samwise there, he would have been less likely to be able to, like, have redundancy. Okay. The great thing about domain decks and the land cycling is like you can construct your triumph such that like any triumph plus like any land cycling card is automatically domain. Now we get to see the strength of Roaring Furnace. Killing his Fanatic of Ronus, that is usually pretty hard to get rid of. Alright. That's a little annoying, but it's fine. I don't think I can actually go for the Triome here. I'm going to need to be able to respond to what he's doing next turn. We can't give him 4 mana. We really don't want to see Karn come down. So I'm just going to grab a Sacred Foundry here. That should give us the options of either Consign, Binding, or Outburst, depending on what he tries to do. Kioria is fine. Okay, we just win. And then sometimes you just win. I do think this deck is pretty competitive. It's just like it has just enough control to like get you to the finish line a lot of the times. Like just the fact that like he played a turn 2 Fanatic Varonis and then I turn 2 killed it means that instead of his turn 3, him playing a 4 mana creature and then having and then tapping Ronus and playing Kioria and untapping Ronus and having 5 mana and then like doing some other crazy shit. Instead, he just has to replay it. You know, like sure. I think this is fine. Kind of landfall deck. And there's Quentin Tarantino. So I do think I'll shock this in because we have options. We can cycle for land. We have treasure generation or control. We need green, no, black. So let's cycle this for red black. Shock it in again. Roaring Furnace. Pop the Nissa. Now if we have to, we can pop Leyline. Alright. Sure. Gets 2 mana. I mean, we win next turn. So, assuming nothing crazy happens here. Okay, he plays Aftermath Analyst. I like the Aftermath Analyst decks. I've always liked this kind of like land strategy. However, Quintorus. Hello. Hey, Lily. I'm doing super shitty, to be honest. I got a allergic reaction to some antibiotics earlier in the week, and my entire body is covered in a poison ivy like rash. So I'm basically miserable right now, but but hopefully it'll be gone soon. uh, I don't think so. 2 dead cards is too much, and these are not nearly as good when you're on the play. Okay, this is better. Just a tiny bit of stalling. All right, let's see what you got. Treasure. Gonna have to do something, my man. So, 1,000,000% he has Shard Mage Blessing. I think it's fine. We let it in. He's tapped out. I was thinking about bouncing it. We can't attack us this turn anyway. He's drawing a bunch of cards off of it. We're gonna bounce our Leyline Binding. And I'm gonna do it next turn, because if we draw land, we can just win the game. Okay. Does this make binding cost 1? Green, red, blue, black, white. It does. Beautiful. Alright. Now he can set up again. Because our leyline binding's here, it's likely that any removal he puts will be at our leyline binding and not at our treasure. If he went after our treasure, we would be in a lot of trouble. Yeah, so he's going to 2-mana enchant this and get his Core Spirit Dancer back with the ghost one. Oh, never mind. 1 mana. Maybe he's just going to try to get some damage in. Hit me, baby. Let's go. Punch me as hard as you can. Haste. Yep. Sure. Can we deal 29 damage? I think we can. Spark Mage. Yep. Spark double first card. He's definitely dead. 1000%. Oh, he didn't have lifelink. Derp. Yeah, he's mega dead. It's about time to take some more Benadryl. Yeah, this is it's truly an awful experience. Do not recommend. 0 out of 10. Yeah, this is fine. We can, okay, so this would be like potentially the Gearhulk plan. So we can get Domain on turn 2. We need green and black here. So, yeah. Do this, pay the life. Go looking for red, green, black. Red, green, black. There's a 1-mana leyline next turn if we need it, which we probably will. Yep. Alright, so what do we want to bind? I think it's maybe the Fanatic. This is only when it enters, so I guess I can wait and see what he does. So unfortunately, you don't have quite the cards it would take to kill the Cavaliers, so we're going to start taking a beating. Don't think we need to treasure up quite yet, but I am going to just kill the bird. And then next turn, we're going to want to play the Magma Opus so that we can do it again. Yep. Alright. Gonna take a lot of damage. Alright, we need Quintorus, honestly. Carnosaur, huh? Alright, so in turn. Take 9. But then we can Magma Opus and maybe stabilize a bit. Yep. Do you want to just chill? I could be holding a board wipe, you know. Alright, beautiful. So we're going to make a treasure. Go to my turn. Play out a war as a land. Go to his upkeep. Beginning of his upkeep, we're going to Torrential Gearhulk. No, no, no. Something like this. I think that deprives him of the most mana. Now if he wants to use any of his mana, he has to sacrifice the Kiora. He can't really attack with a Cavalier because we could double block it, and he can't kill the Torrential Gearhulk with it. Yeah, so I had one time. Apparently, I was allergic to some kinds of laundry detergent, and we had one time when we like swapped detergents, and I was wearing the clothes that was washing it for like a day and a half before the rash started coming in, and then it was like that was the only time I've ever felt anything worse than what I have right now. What I have right now is a greater coverage because that was only the areas that my clothes were on. Really? Okay. And but that rash was like way more intense, like it was than this one is. But this one still sucks. It's like a poison ivy level rash. Okay, it's time for our alternate win condition. Here comes the dinosaur. But yeah, I've been the past couple days. I have been absolutely miserable. It's like I would rather be in pain than have my whole body be itching all the time. Yeah, I would rather literally have like a broken arm. I mean, not in the long run because this is going to go away in like a few days, hopefully, and a broken arm would last months. But like, if I could trade the time that I have right now with my whole body itching for having a broken arm for just that time, then yeah, absolutely. I slept for maybe a total of 1 hour last night, if that. Yeah, I mean, it's a little slow, but we at least get 3 mana Leyline Binding. We can't cast Consign. I don't think there's any need to rush out the Magma Opus here. We can't use this till turn 4 anyway, so we're more worried about counterspells from this deck. I will absolutely leyline binding Imri though. See, and now we just play the stall game. The only problem is, I think, but really don't like giving him Rona. We would have 5 mana. Okay, this is what we'll do. He has a counterspell. Seems like it. Anyway. This way, if he plays more than 2 cards, we can force him to respond to Oblivion before we try to go off with Quintorus. Yeah. So there's a term for that that's funny sounding. It's called formication with an M, not fornication, like what you do with your lady friend. Formication with an M describes the feeling of bugs crawling over your skin, and that is exactly what I'm experiencing 24/7 over my entire body for the past 2.5 days. So you could say that I'm being a formicator with lots of depraved formication. We're just trying to bait opponent basically into making a mistake and tapping out. Goodbye. And yeah, scratching is like scratching feels good for about 1 second while you're scratching, and then as soon as you're done scratching, you just realize that it itches more. Like it feels good while you're scratching it. As soon as you stop, it's like, oh no. Do you think those people that come into streams and ask if people want art are actually just bots or scammers, or do you think that they're like legitimately trying to run like an art business? You see it so frequently, it's got to be like a scam or something, right? Mm, I don't know about this one. 2 lands on the draw is sketchy. This is better. We don't have any defense, but we have combo as soon as possible. Like it happens, like it seems like a common thing. So it's I like my gut says it's a some form of a scam. I normally like instantly ban people who are advertising shit because like I'm not trying to be big, like I don't give a shit. um, but if somebody will like kind of interact in earnest, then I'm a little hesitant to do it. So we're just set up to win next turn. You're just running the long con. That would be pretty. That would be pretty fucking funny. Goodbye. I gotta answer a question from work. Um. Quickly responding to a work message. That's Hey, shut up, you spaz. It's probably just the mailman. Oh boy, I think this guy's been running Belcher. Ugh, terrible. Mulligan. Alright, we'll try it. Lack of lands is a little scary. Okay, not Belcher, not Belcher. It's enchantments. Sure. Drawing lands is good for us. Okay, light balls. What's he hit it with? Are you going to tutor up Sheltered? Okay, he does. So, how do we get around this? I think we have to shock. I think we have to bound Sheltered by Ghost at the end of his turn so that we can kill this thing. That's not good. That is not good. Alright, so now we have to stall. All the glitters, I mean, realistically, we're pretty fucked here. Pretty sure we just lose. Yeah, we're dead. Sometimes you just get fucked. Ah, see, this one's easy to ban. Because, like, obviously, this guy is a scammer. So you just get banned. When they actually interact a little bit first, that's when I'm not sure. Sometimes you get fornicated. That's true. It's kind of funny how culturally, like, getting fucked is a bad thing, but most people would consider getting fucked to be a good thing. A lot of people spend a lot of time and effort into getting fucked. I mean, we have a lot of removal. This is like right on the line. Like, we have win conditions, we have no ramp, we only have two lands. We do have like reasonable domain. Fuck. Who's calling me? Oh. Hang on. Going on mute. Phone call. All right, I'm back. I hadn't talked to him in a while, so didn't want to leave him hanging. Take another Benadryl. Maybe not that many Benadryls. God dang it. Uh, I mean, I feel like my win-loss today has been pretty good with this deck. We climbed from like 600 to like under 300. Joe Nuts these nuts. Almost have domain. Play out our blue first so that consign is an option. Answer a tap land with a tap land. Oh, opponent's on control. Okay. Yeah. Kind of flicker control. There's a cool deck that's been going around that uses Days Undoing, Narset, 4 copies of Silence, 4 copies of 4 copies of Silence, 4 copies of Orum's Chant. I want to see if he's got counter spells. You run this out and steal his Hall of the Storm Giants, unless he wants to counter it, which is fine. We have to get those cards out of his deck anyway. Okay, sure. Against control, we can win by just limping along. We don't usually need the entire combo. Do I have double blue? I do not. So play this tapped. We'll cycle a Magma Opus and then play this. We basically want to wait until we have some kind of option for dealing with his counter magic. So we have a couple ways to make things uncounterable in the deck. But we basically just fight for card advantage, forcing him to counterspell stuff. Sure. It's out target non-land permanent, creates a 3/2. Okay, sure. Love it. Oh, I should have played it again. Fuck. My bad. Okay. Just all instant blue-white cancer. Okay, beautiful. Just do this again. Go ahead and do this. If he wants to give us a 3/2, that's fine. This is sorcery? Yeah. I'll take a card, please. If only I had one more blue mana, we could bounce it. Scries. Sure. Sounds good to me. How do we want to do this? Maybe just slam Oliphant. It's a pretty hefty clock there, dude. Teferi. Well, that means he's going to have to respond to our board state. Ooh, that's good too. That's really good, actually. So we're just going to swing you here, you here. Actually, let's just both go to Fairy. Alright, and now we have Torrential Gearhulk on deck with a Magma Opus in the graveyard. So we might be able to surprise him. Sure, that gets rid of the token, I guess. You still have a problem, though. Alright, make disappear down. Swing with this. Spark double it. Swing with this. Force him to waste more counter magic. Alright, Deluge, he's running dry. He's not going to be able to counter it with 1 mana. One, two, three, four, five, six. He activates this, then he has 2 mana left. So I think we're just gonna run out Quintorus here. We can pay for counter magic. Alright. So do I even want to swing here? He can activate Hall and block. I don't think I'll swing just yet. No attacks. He should have fucking made a token. But okay. Let's say that you're gonna discard 2 cards. Alright, well now you get hit for 6. And cycle this guy. Might be worth it to grab a Triumph just to draw with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But this makes me go past the 3 mana breakpoint for paid counterspells. Fairy, sure. Bind that into turn. Does he even have the mana to activate Hall? He does barely. 1, 2. I'll take that. Gonna fragment. Fragmenting here is a mistake, I think. Okay, Wandering Emperor, sure. -2, sure. Carnosaur? Alright. Pretty annoying opponent. Alright, so he gets our Carnosaurs. We still have Quinton, we still have Oliphants. We still have Magma Opus. He's also out of cards here. Sure.
Remember your training.
So fucking lucky. You're such a lucky little bitch, dude. Alright, 2 more cards. Spark Double would be good. We could take his Wandering Emperor and then double... So, like... Oh, no, but he fucking exiled it. Alright, fair enough. Ugh. Gross. Sure. Untap, untap. Okay, that's good. Do I want to do this now? Like, I don't think I can. Sure. Do I wait? I don't think so. Okay. Please Shark Typhoon. Alright, so what do we want? We want our 5 damage spell. That's our best draw, by far. Okay, Consign is not bad. Wait for his upkeep. Or if he taps out for Memory Deluge. Off the card draw. We have discard. Alright, sure. Yep. Pays a bunch of mana, draw some cards. He has a reduced ability to untap now, unless he plays another Teferi, which he might, but then he would only have 2 mana. Okay, Get Lost is fine. Gets Teferi back. We need our creative. We have a 5 damage spell that just does 5 to face. We also have a land that makes spells uncounterable. So, like, that's basically what we're looking for here. We don't have too much time left, though. Because... And we don't really want to be drawing spark doubles. Discard, discard. Alright, we take 10. We have one more turn to draw what we need. Oh no, we're dead. Oh. Now, good thing that he doesn't think about his Hall of the Storm Giants. He could have killed us. Yeah, we're dead. Alright, Fair Dukes. Oh, God. We basically win that if we draw the right land, and we just didn't draw it. We need the, we needed either our, fuck, what's the land? Makes so creatures can't be countered. We needed either that one or the blue one that you can pay 1 blue and tap to make your next spell not counterable. And then we just win. At that point, we just fucking hit him with uncounterable Magma Opus in the face. On the play, no removal, slow hand. It's a little bit better because we at least have 1 removal spell. Hello. Hello, opponent. Hello, hello. Oh boy, red-white energy. Oh no, red-white. This is the land I was talking about just a second ago. Lights pause. Plays that. Gets the... Let's see what he puts on it. Okay. That is what we want to see. Now let's make sure we count this right. I can treasure up here. I'm going to draw a card, play Roaring Furnace. Deal exactly 4 damage. When I play this, it would go down to 2 mana. Okay, we're just gonna play tapped. Twinblade Geist. Well, good game. Best top deck we could have got. One card combos are good, turns out.
I'm ready for another exciting expedition. Some mysteries beg to be solved.
One card combos are good. So you pretty much should always fetch Shelter by Ghost on your Fox Mommy in the Enchanter deck. Even if you're not gonna remove something, it's still better unless you have like Shard Mage Rescue to always just fetch Sheltered, especially at like turn 2 when you're like playing it on turn 2 and enchanting it on turn 2. The ward is too good, and like the blowout of getting your enchanted creature popped is too much of a swing in tempo. Looks good to me. Draw your card. Kill it. Souls. I think what we want to do is cycle for red. We have red, white in hand. Humans is what he's on. Adeline. Okay. Alright, we win.
Let's dig over here.
Pretty sure I've beaten this guy with this deck before when he was playing like enchantments, so he knew. Skin. Time to pull my skin off. Fuck. Showtime Demon. Looks good. These are much better on the draw. So like on the draw, this is a pretty cool card. Like it's very versatile. We got turn 2 Leyline or turn 2 Domain if we don't have to do anything. Okay, it's just wizards. Yeah. Alright, we take some damage. Take some more damage. Shock in Blood Crypt, take some more damage. Wait. Oh my god, did we... This is exactly the right land to get Leyline Binding online. So we would just do that. We don't even have to shock. Alright, what you gonna do? What you gonna do, you wizard? Harry Potter? If he's holding a Spell Pierce, I'd rather him use it now. Sure. Let's just keep stalling. It's only got 2 mana because he sacked, so like taking wizards off the board is really impactful here. And if we can just stall long enough. Like at some point he's going to have to commit to the board. I don't trust Is It with other mana untapped. I want to make him spend resources before I try to go for the combo. For what, dude? Wizard lightning me in the face? Alright. That's a 6-4. Snappy boy isn't going to get around that. Okay. Reckless charge. I count 9 damage from Reckless Charge and another Wizard's Lightning. Having a creature out when I try to combo off in case he does have burn for Quintorus is good because then we can just copy the Oilifant. And if he wastes 2 burn spells here, I'm totally fine with that. Yeah, so we just win. This is exactly what we wanted him to do. He hand dumps. And now we just slurp him up.
Let's dig over here. These relics are priceless.
There is some nuance to this deck. You have to know what you're weak against. We are weak against instant damage that can hit our Planeswalker, any kind of removal. Like, Planeswalker is a little bit more resilient than a creature-based combo usually. There's more things that hit creatures than there are things that hit Planeswalkers. But we're still vulnerable to, like, burn spells if the opponent knows what they're doing. Planeswalker removal spells. So against something like Is It, like, he's sitting open with 3 mana. He hasn't played any creatures. We know he's got some degree of burn spells in his hand. So I think running out the 6-4 is the right play there. Because, like, he's highly incentivized to try and get rid of that. Because it's really fucking with his ground game. And he wants to be able to hit us with his creatures. And I just think it was the right move. We don't want to get in a situation where we play a Quintorus, try to combo, it gets killed, we lose a Spark Double, we lose tempo. The next turn we play another Quintorus, it gets killed, we lose a Spark Double, we lose tempo. Now we don't even have like the gas in our deck to finish the job. That's like what we're really trying to avoid. Right, get runes. We're just full out ramping here. Gonna kill our treasure. At the end of his turn, we're gonna generate a treasure. I don't think he can kill us here. Highly unlikely that he can kill us from 20 life at this stage of the game. Okay. Armor. Picks up another 1 mana. We do have the ability, if this fails and he can't just kill us. I think he's just dead. Like, he's tapped out. Top 2 hundo. Climbing up. Um, yeah, right. We have pretty good distribution of lands here. Pretty good removal. Okay, sure. Sure. Did we just fight this guy a minute ago? I think we did. Archon of Emeria is a problem. We do have the kind of ability to play around it, though. I think it's fine. So we need blue. So let's cycle this. Grab a red-blue. Shock it in. Leyline Binding. The Bailmark. In turn. Bounce our Leyline Binding. Cycle this. Grab a Triome. Play a Triome. I think we play the Binding at the end of his turn. Because the Archon of Emeria actually hurts him during his turn, right? So, like, we have an ability and a Leyline. He has to choose what he's going to cast. So as a creature they control in their graveyard. Sure. Don't really need my graveyard. So he has removal. He doesn't. He's doomed. When you have two, it's really, really unlikely that they stop the combo at that point.
I'm ready for another exciting expedition. Some mysteries beg to be solved. Knowledge is power. Now the fight's over, I have some questions for you. Wonder when I'll
Basically, the way I do it is I'll use surgical metamorphs I get before having found a spark double on Quintorus, on Carnosaurs in this case, and then after you get a spark double for Quintorus, you use them on the spark double Quintorus, and then you get a bunch of Quintoruses, and they die. Fuck. Land sucks, no tutors. Alright. Spark double back. We have at least some level of removal in the form of Roaring Furnace, and the ability to kind of grind out a bit if necessary. No, it's Eldrazi, we're going to shock in. Okay, so we want to ramp into Torrential Gearhulk with this hand, probably. Ramp this out. Hopefully he plays like some Eldrazi creature or something that's killable with Roaring Furnace. We can outburst. That's not good. That's really spooky. On the bright side, we do have Torrential Gearhulk next turn, assuming we keep all our land in play. He can't really do anything about our treasures unless he gets Karn. But he, on the bad side is that he does have 8 mana right now. But to do so, he did bury 2 major planeswalkers. And Torrential Gearhulk, with what we've got in our graveyard, can probably take care of a planeswalker if that's his play. What we're really worried about is... Okay. That's fine. Alright, sure. Sure. Draws a card, gains some life. Meanwhile, we make another treasure, play Otawara. We want to wait till the end of his turn to Gearhulk, if possible. I think. Sure. Play Ugin. One ring is fine because we're after his planeswalkers. Again, this is why we didn't play it out early. We don't want it to get exiled. expect he'll get the Ugin back. That's fine. Now the question is, because he's gonna Ugin and he's gonna have to -6, right? Which is gonna take a pretty good amount of his resources. So if I play this right now, okay, I think I see the line. We want him to go all in on Ugin, get no value from it. Then we just Quintorus and win. Yep. As expected, and then he's going to -6 that. Yep. As expected, he's got 5 mana left. Okay, 7 mana left. Okay, love it. Wasting time attacking our Ugin. I like that. We actually don't want to draw with the Ugin because it means that we might hit one of our copies. Great. 39 life. I don't know for certain if we're going to get enough gas to hit that. But we hit a spark double. Okay, we hit the spark double right off. I'm pretty sure he's dead. We can do quite a bit of damage. If we'd like had a run, if we'd like hit all our surgicals first, we would probably be fucked. But I'm pretty sure we can do 33 damage.
Let's dig over here. Some mysteries beg to be solved.
One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, and then there's the next one. All right, couple more games here. Hey, Teddy. Hey, bub. Hey, little bub. Alright. Got removal, got domain, pretty much. Always go down with our white, red first. Now we have domain for reals. It's another just like white-blue control cancer. Or what? We have our Mistrise Village this time, so I think a battle against control is going to go quite a bit different. We actually don't want to play it out this early. I think if opponent is just going slow, we can go slow too. We don't really want to play this out until we're ready to use it. He does have black, but he's not going to be able to make us discard a land. So I don't want to expose it to like land destruction. All right, sure. Tina Linda, conjure a thing, play the thing, draw a card. Okay, so this is where having a copy would be quite good. Um, so I think our line here is like we want to bounce Saint Linda to stall. Play the tap land. Pass the turn. We can kill the 4/4. Next turn we can kill the 4/4 with Roaring Furnace. And then the turn after we can play Quintorius if he's tapped out. If he's not tapped out, then we can wait a couple turns and play it with Mistrise Village. And we would probably just cast a discard spell at him in that case. Alright, your go, bro. Got another Sorin? That would be probably worst case scenario for us. Oh, Lord of the Baelmerk. What are you working with here? Grabs another Sorin. Can't cast it this turn. It's fine. We're kind of tempoing. Okay. We just tempo it up. Take 4. Sure. Next turn we can expect him to be casting Sorin and Saint Linda again, which is actually good for us. Because we really want him to be tapped out. So like... Oh. Ulamog the Defiler, we're dead. Alright. Wait, is Defiler? Yeah, alright. Yep, we're dead. Sometimes you get got. Yeah, I don't know how he could have played around that. Did we see him grab that? No, he grabbed Sorin. So like we have things in our deck that can stop that, but we didn't have them in our hand, so it doesn't matter. Pizzagate. This is a bad hand. This is a little better. I think we'll put away the Gear Hulk plan. Keep our ramp spells. Haywire Might's annoying. We have to play around it. Alright, he gets Omniscience. So 1, 2, 3. Hits us for 1. Doesn't hit us at all. They should make a card that just cycles for any land, but make it cost like 3 mana to cycle it. I think that could be sick. Okay, are you having problems hitting lands here? Right, we're gonna give him the option to kill our treasure token, because we can't actually combo out with that Haywire Might online. What do we got in here? Omniscience. Alright, that's kind of what we wanted. We're in kind of a bind here unless we get blue, red. Kind of a bind here. We're probably just dead. We needed a leyline binding to have a chance, and we did not top deck it. Omniscience. But I do want to make him show that he has it. Second Omniscience. You have Atraxa. Traverse for Atraxa. Alright, let's see what Atraxa hits. Ulamog. None of this kills us right off the bat. That causes us to lose though. So, funny idea that I was brewing. If he didn't end up with the ability to destroy our lands, is we could have copied his Omniscience with our Surgical Metamorph and then gone off and probably won. But it required him to not exile our lands, and he did, so. All right, last game for real. And close out the set. I mean, we did pretty good. We went from like 600 or 700 to 200. I think I'm fine with this. Daddy Shuffle. Oh, look, it's Eldrazi again. How original. Red, white, black. This is a must kill. What sets him back more? Probably killing this, because this is reducing... Oh no, this is reducing cost by 1. Okay. Power Stone then. Four mana. Don't care. Don't care. Sounds good. Alright, let's win the game.
Certainly aren't my dig site crew. I wonder what they'll find at this site. Some mysteries beg to be solved. Discoveries are around every corner. Already in ruins. Let's dig over here. Let's see if our answers lie. I'm ready for another exciting expedition. Some mysteries beg to be solved.
GG. Alright, GG's. I'm gonna go wallow in misery. So I hope everybody else has a better day than I'm having. Later.